First contact. In the vast expanse of the Milky Way, the Zalthori collective had long considered themselves the pinnacle of intelligent life. Their crystalline bodies housed minds of unparalleled computational power, and their technology allowed them to traverse the stars with ease. For millennia, they had explored the galaxy, cataloging countless worlds and species, always finding themselves superior. That is, until they discovered Earth. High Archon Xylos, leader of the Zalthori exploration fleet, hovered before the holographic display of the blue-green planet. Its swirling clouds and vast oceans were nothing remarkable, but the readings from the surface defied explanation. "Impossible," Xylos murmured, his crystalline form pulsing with confusion. Archivist Vela explained these anomalies. Vela's form shimmered as she processed the data. High Archon, the planet's surface shows signs of extensive modification. Vast structures cover significant portions of the landmasses, and the atmosphere contains high levels of artificial compounds. Natural phenomena. Xylos inquired, though he already suspected the answer. Negative, High Archon. These are clear signs of an advanced civilization. The revelation sent ripples of excitement through the bridge crew. They had encountered countless species in their explorations, but none had achieved this level of planetary development without being detected by the Zalthori long before. "Show me these beings," Xylos commanded. The holographic display shifted, zooming in on the planet's surface. Images of humans going about their daily lives flashed before the astonished Zalthori. They watched as these soft, bipedal creatures operated complex machinery, built towering structures, and communicated through a dizzying array of methods. "Fascinating," Xylos mused. "They appear so fragile, yet they've achieved so much." "Vela, what is their technological level?" Vela's crystals pulsed rapidly as she analyzed the data. "High Archon, their technology is inconsistent. In some areas, they lag centuries behind us. In others, they've developed solutions we've never conceived of. It's most perplexing." Xylos felt a sensation he hadn't experienced in eons, genuine curiosity. How have they remained undetected for so long? "Unknown, High Archon," Vela replied. "Their methods of interstellar observation are primitive. They shouldn't have been able to hide from our scans. It's as if they simply appeared." The implications were staggering. A species that could evade Zalthori detection, even unintentionally, was unprecedented. Xylos knew that this discovery would change everything. "We must learn more," Xylos declared. "Prepare a detailed observation plan. I want to know everything about these humans, their strengths, their weaknesses, their potential." For weeks, the Zalthori ships orbited Earth in stealth, their advanced cloaking technology rendering them invisible to human detection methods. They observed wars and peace, love and hate, creation and destruction. The more they watched, the more fascinated they became. Xylos found himself drawn to human art and music, concepts foreign to the logical Zalthori mind. Vela became obsessed with human scientific advancements, marveling at their ability to make groundbreaking discoveries with such limited resources. As the observation period neared its end, Xylos called a meeting of the fleet's highest-ranking members. "We've learned much about the humans," Xylos began, his form glowing with excitement. "But there is so much more to understand. Their potential seems limitless. I propose we initiate first contact." A chorus of surprised murmurs rippled through the assembled Zalthori. Direct contact with a newly discovered species was rarely attempted so quickly. High Archon, one of the elder Zalthori, spoke up. "Is this wise? The humans are unpredictable, often violent. They may pose a threat." Xylos pulsed with conviction. "They may also be the greatest allies we've ever encountered. Their creativity, their adaptability, these are traits our society has long lacked. We must take this risk." After hours of debate, a consensus was reached. The Zalthori would reveal themselves to humanity. As the Earth rotated below them, Blissfully unaware of the monumental decision made in orbit, Xylos began preparations for first contact. Little did he know that this encounter would not only change the fate of humanity, but would shake the very foundations of Zalthori society. The Zalthori ships decloaked, their crystalline structures catching the sun's light and creating a dazzling display in Earth's sky. Across the planet, humans looked up in awe and fear at the alien vessels now visible to all. In New York, Tokyo, Lagos, and countless other cities, people poured into the streets, their eyes fixed on the sky. Social media exploded with images and videos of the ships, while governments scrambled to formulate a response. Aboard the Zalthori flagship, Xylos watched the humans' reactions with fascination. "They're afraid," he observed, "yet I detect curiosity as well. Remarkable." Vela, monitoring global communications, reported, "High Archon, the humans are attempting to communicate with us. Their methods are diverse and chaotic." Indeed, Earth's response was anything but unified. Some nations launched fighter jets, while others broadcast messages of peace. Civilian ham radio operators sent out greetings in dozens of languages, and in a move that particularly intrigued the Zalthori, a group of hackers managed to project a welcoming message onto the side of the alien ships themselves. Such ingenuity, Xylos marveled. "Vela, prepare our first message. Let us hope the humans are ready to embrace a new era of galactic cooperation." As the Zalthori craft began their descent towards Earth, humanity held its breath, standing on the precipice of a new age. The era of human isolation was over. For better or worse, Earth was about to join the galactic community. The human enigma. The Zalthori delegation touched down in a carefully chosen location, a neutral zone established by Earth's hastily assembled United Response Council. As the crystalline beings emerged from their ship, a hush fell over the assembled human representatives. Xylos, his form shimmering with barely contained excitement, stepped forward. "People of Earth," he began, his words translated and broadcast globally, "we come in peace and with great curiosity. We are the Zalthori, and we wish to learn from you." The human response was a cacophony of reactions. Some cheered, others wept, and many simply stood in stunned silence. Dr. Amelia Chen, the lead human negotiator, stepped forward to greet the aliens. "Welcome to Earth," she said, her voice steady despite the gravity of the moment. "We have so many questions for you." "As do we," Xylos replied, his crystalline form pulsing with excitement. What followed were weeks of intense cultural exchange and diplomatic negotiations. The Zalthori were eager to share their advanced technology, particularly in the fields of energy production and space travel. In return, they asked for access to human art, literature, and history. But as the aliens delved deeper into human culture, they found themselves increasingly puzzled. Vela, tasked with analyzing human behavior, reported her findings to Xylos with growing frustration. "High Archon, I cannot make sense of them," she admitted. "Their actions often defy logic. They expend enormous resources on activities with no practical purpose. They create art that serves no function. They risk their lives for abstract concepts like freedom and love." Xylos, who had been studying human literature, nodded thoughtfully. "Indeed, they are a paradox, so fragile, yet so resilient, so divided, yet capable of incredible unity. What do you make of their creativity, Vela?" Vela's form flickered with uncertainty. "It is unsettling, High Archon. They imagine things that do not exist, solve problems with solutions we would never consider. It's as if their minds operate on a completely different paradigm." As the Zalthori grappled with understanding humanity, humans were having their own struggles comprehending their visitors. Dr. Chen found herself constantly surprised by the aliens' reactions. During a tour of the Louvre, Xylos had stared at the Mona Lisa for hours, attempting to understand why a simple portrait had captured human imagination for centuries. At a concert, the Zalthori had been so overwhelmed by the emotional impact of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony that they had to leave the auditorium. But it was a visit to a small rural village that truly shook the Zalthori's understanding of humanity. They watched in astonishment as the villagers, despite living in relative poverty, shared what little they had with the alien visitors. Why do they give when they have so little? Thylos asked Dr. Chen. She smiled softly. Because sometimes giving is more important than having. This concept of selflessness for its own sake was entirely foreign to the logical, collective-minded Zalthori. It sparked intense debate among their ranks about the nature of intelligence and civilization. As the cultural exchange continued, both species found themselves changed by the encounter. Humans, inspired by Zalthori technology, made leaps in scientific understanding. The Zalthori, influenced by human creativity, began to explore new forms of expression and individual thought. But not all was harmonious. Some humans feared the rapid changes brought by alien technology. Others saw the Zalthori as potential conquerors, not allies. And among the Zalthori, a faction began to view humanity as a potential threat, unpredictable and dangerously innovative. Tensions came to a head when a group of human extremists attacked a Zalthori research facility. The aliens, unaccustomed to such violence, were shocked. Some called for immediate withdrawal from Earth. In an emergency meeting, Dr. Chin pleaded with Thylos. Please understand, these attackers don't represent all of humanity. We're capable of great violence, yes, but also of great compassion. Don't judge us solely by our worst actions. Thylos, his form pulsing with conflicting emotions, replied, But how can we trust a species capable of such contradictions? You create beauty and destruction in equal measure. You profess peace, yet wage war. You are a paradox we cannot solve. Dr. Chen smiled sadly. Perhaps that's what makes us human. We're not perfect, Thylos. We're a work in progress, always striving to be better than we are. Isn't that worth understanding? As Thylos contemplated her words, alarms blared throughout the facility. Vela rushed in, her crystalline form flickering with urgency. Hi Archon, we've detected an anomaly approaching Earth. It's like nothing we've ever seen before. Thylos and Dr. Chen exchanged glances. Whatever their differences, it was clear that humanity and the Zalthori would face this new challenge together. As they rushed to the command center, neither could have predicted how this looming crisis would test both species to their very limits. Crisis and cooperation. The anomaly approached Earth with frightening speed, defying all known laws of physics. It appeared as a swirling vortex of dark energy, consuming everything in its path. Both human and Zalthori scientists were baffled by its nature and origin. As panic spread across the globe, world leaders and the Zalthori High Council convened an emergency summit. The meeting was tense, with fear and mistrust still lingering from recent events. Thylos addressed the assembly, his crystalline form pulsing with urgency. This threat is beyond anything we've encountered. The anomaly will reach Earth in less than a month, and we have no means to stop it. The room erupted into chaos as human leaders argued about the best course of action. Some proposed mass evacuation to Zalthori worlds. Others insisted on focusing all resources on a defense strategy. Amidst the commotion, Dr. Chen stood up. We're wasting time, she shouted, silencing the room. This is bigger than our differences. We need to work together, combine our knowledge and strengths. It's our only hope. Her words seemed to break through the tension. One by one, leaders from both species voiced their agreement. A joint task force was quickly assembled, combining the brightest minds from Earth and the Zalthori collective. The next weeks were a flurry of activity. Zalthori scientists shared their advanced understanding of astrophysics, while human experts contributed innovative problem-solving approaches. The cooperation was not without its challenges. Cultural misunderstandings and communication issues often led to heated debates. But as the anomaly drew closer, something remarkable began to happen. The very traits that had puzzled the Zalthori about humanity: creativity, adaptability, and the ability to thrive under pressure, proved to be invaluable. A breakthrough came from an unexpected source. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, a young physicist from Japan, proposed a radical theory. What if we're looking at this all wrong? She suggested during a late-night brainstorming session. Instead of trying to destroy or deflect the anomaly, what if we could communicate with it? Her idea was met with skepticism at first, but as she explained her reasoning, drawing on both Zalthori science and human intuition, the room grew quiet with growing excitement. Xylos, who had been observing the human scientists with increasing admiration, spoke up. "It's unprecedented, but so is this threat. We must try." With less than a week before the anomaly's arrival, the joint team raced to build a device that could potentially interact with the strange phenomenon. Humans worked tirelessly alongside Zalthori, their diverse approaches complementing each other in ways neither species had anticipated. As the device neared completion, a new problem arose. The power required to operate it was enormous, beyond even the capabilities of Zalthori technology. It seemed all their efforts might be in vain. But once again, human ingenuity provided a solution. A team of engineers from various nations proposed a daring plan: a global power grid, combining every energy source on Earth with Zalthori enhancements. It would require unprecedented cooperation and trust between nations that had long been adversaries. As the anomaly loomed large in the sky, visible to the naked eye, and causing widespread terror, humanity faced a choice. Old enmities would have to be set aside for the sake of survival. In a historic moment, world leaders unanimously agreed to the plan. The next days were a frenzy of activity. Power plants were retrofitted, solar farms expanded, and Zalthori energy modules integrated into the grid. Millions of people volunteered their efforts, working around the clock to bring the ambitious project to life. Xylos watched in awe as humans from all walks of life came together in the face of extinction. "I've never seen anything like this," he confided to Dr. Chen. "Your species continues to surprise me." She smiled tiredly. "This is humanity at its best, Xylos. When our backs are against the wall, we're capable of incredible things." As the anomaly entered the solar system, the device was ready. The global power grid hummed to life, channeling the combined energy of an entire planet into the communication array. Dr. Tanaka, surrounded by a team of human and Zalthori scientists, initiated the sequence. A beam of concentrated energy shot from Earth towards the approaching vortex. For a heart-stopping moment, nothing happened. Then, the anomaly began to change. Its swirling patterns shifted, slowing its advance. "It's working," Dr. Tanaka exclaimed. "We're getting a response." The next hours were tense as the scientists worked to decipher the anomaly's reactions. Slowly, a picture began to emerge. The phenomenon wasn't a weapon or a natural disaster. It was a form of life utterly alien to both humans and Zalthori, a cosmic entity drawn to Earth's unique energy signature. Through a combination of the power of human spirit, as the cosmic entity communicated with Earth, a startling revelation emerged. This being, which the joint human Zalthori team dubbed Celestia, was not a threat, but a lonely traveler. It had been drawn to Earth by the unique combination of energies emanating from the planet, a blend of natural forces and the collective consciousness of humanity. Dr. Tanaka, working tirelessly with her team, managed to establish a rudimentary form of communication with Celestia. "It's fascinated by us," she explained to a rapt audience of world leaders and Zalthori representatives. "Our emotions, our creativity, our conflicts, they're all new to it. It's been traversing the universe for eons, seeking out intelligent life." This discovery sparked a new challenge. How could they convince Celestia to alter its course without destroying the very things that made Earth unique? The entity's sheer size meant that even a close pass could devastate the planet. As debates raged and scientists worked around the clock, an unlikely hero emerged. Sarah Mbeki, a young artist from Kenya, approached the Joint Council with an audacious idea. "We need to show Celestia who we are," Sarah proposed, her voice trembling but determined. "Not just our science and technology, but our heart, our art, our music, our stories. If it's truly curious about us, let's give it something to be curious about." Her proposal was met with skepticism from some quarters, but it struck a chord with many, including Xylos. The Zalthori leader had been profoundly affected by his exposure to human culture, and he saw the wisdom in Sarah's approach. "We support this plan," Xylos announced, surprising many of his own kind. "It aligns with our observations of humanity's unique strengths." What followed was perhaps the most ambitious artistic endeavor in human history. With time running out, people from all corners of the globe contributed to a massive multimedia presentation of human culture and achievement. Musicians composed symphonies that told the story of human evolution. Artists created vast murals visible from space. Writers crafted narratives that encapsulated the human experience. All of this was interwoven with scientific data, historical records, and live feeds showing the diversity of life on Earth. The Zalthori, inspired by this outpouring of creativity, contributed their own elements. They provided technologies to enhance the transmission and created crystalline structures that refracted light in beautiful, complex patterns. As Celestia drew nearer, the combined artistic and technological marvel was unveiled. The entity's approach slowed as it processed the incredible array of information being sent its way. For 3 days, humanity held its breath. The skies churned with Celestia's presence, aurora-like displays lighting up the night. Scientists worked frantically to interpret the entity's responses, while artists and creators continued to add to the ongoing transmission. Finally, on the 4th day, Celestia began to change course. Slowly at first, then with increasing speed, the cosmic entity altered its trajectory. It would still pass close to Earth, but no longer on a collision course. As it passed, Celestia left humanity with a gift, a vast repository of knowledge gathered from its travels across the universe. It would take generations to fully understand, but it promised to revolutionize human understanding of the cosmos. The day Celestia finally moved beyond Earth's solar system was one of global celebration. Humanity had faced extinction and emerged not just surviving, but triumphant. The cooperation forged in crisis had bridged age-old divides between nations and even species. Xylos, watching the celebrations from the Zalthori flagship, turned to Dr. Chen. "I must admit, when we first encountered your species, we thought we had little to learn from you. We were wrong. Humanity's resilience, creativity, and spirit are truly remarkable." Dr. Chen smiled, her eyes reflecting the fireworks blooming across the planet below. "We've learned just as much from you, Xylos. This is just the beginning of what we can achieve together." As the festivities continued, both humans and Zalthori knew that the universe had changed. Humanity had proven itself on a cosmic stage, and the bonds forged in facing this crisis promised a new era of exploration and discovery. But even as they celebrated, new questions loomed. What other wonders and challenges awaited them in the vastness of space? And how would this experience change both humanity and the Zalthori moving forward? The answers to these questions would unfold in the years to come, as Earth and its new allies took their first steps into a larger, more wondrous universe than they had ever imagined. A new galactic order. In the years following the Celestia incident, Earth and the Zalthori collective underwent profound changes. The repository of knowledge left behind by the cosmic entity had opened up new frontiers in science, philosophy, and understanding of the universe. Humanity, once confined to its own solar system, now stood on the brink of becoming a true spacefaring civilization. With Zalthori assistance, the first human colonies were established on Mars and several of Jupiter's moons. But it was the development of faster-than-light travel, combining Zalthori technology with human intuition, that truly opened up the galaxy. The Zalthori, in turn, found themselves deeply influenced by human culture. The concepts of individual expression and emotional intelligence, once foreign to their collective-minded society, began to take root. Zalthori artists emerged, creating works that blended their crystalline aesthetic with human-inspired creativity. As both species ventured further into space, they encountered new civilizations. Some were far more advanced, others just taking their first steps into the cosmic community. In these encounters, the Human-Zalthori Alliance found that their complementary strengths made them uniquely suited to act as intermediaries and peacekeepers. Dr. Chen, now serving as Earth's ambassador to the galactic community, often reflected on how far they had come. "We've moved from a species on the brink of self-destruction to key players in a galactic civilization," she mused during a conference on a distant world. "And it all started with learning to understand those different from us." Xylos, his crystalline form now adorned with patterns inspired by human art, nodded in agreement. "Our peoples have grown together in ways we never anticipated. It makes me wonder what other surprises the universe holds for us." Their musings were interrupted by an urgent message. A young human-Zalthori hybrid named Zora, a product of the two species' collaborative genetic research, rushed into the room. "Ambassador, High Archon," she said, her crystalline patches pulsing with excitement, "we've detected a signal. It's like nothing we've ever seen before." As they hurried to the command center, Dr. Chen and Xylos exchanged glances. Once again, they faced the unknown. But this time, they were ready. Whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, with the combined strength of human spirit and Zalthori wisdom. The signal pulsed on the view screen, a mystery waiting to be unraveled. And as ships from a dozen worlds converged to investigate, it was clear that a new chapter in galactic history was about to unfold. In the vastness of space, humanity had found not only its place but its purpose. The journey that began with a curious alien race observing a small blue planet had led to a transformation neither species could have imagined. As they stood on the threshold of new discoveries, one thing was certain: the greatest adventures still lay ahead. The legacy of Earth's stand against Celestia lived on, a testament to the power of cooperation, creativity, and the indomitable human spirit. It served as a reminder that in the face of the universe's greatest challenges, unity and diversity of thought were not just beneficial, but essential. As the combined fleet prepared to investigate the mysterious signal, there was a sense of anticipation rather than fear. Whatever they would find, be it friend or foe, wonder or danger, they would face it as they had faced every challenge since that fateful first contact, together. The stars beckoned, promising new horizons, new challenges, and new opportunities for growth. And in the hearts and minds of humans, and Zalthori alike, a shared thought resonated: this was only the beginning.